Howdy there, true believers. Welcome back to New World Nerds. I am Superman Nico. Today we're going to be talking about the Joker teaser that just dropped today. Before we get started and I tell you my thoughts of the Joker teaser, I did want to get across what this Joker movie is. This is a villain origin story. It's a different universe. It's not in the same universe as the Justice League, as Shazam, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, all that good stuff. We will not be seeing Jared Leto's Joker. This isn't supposed to be a young Jared Leto Joker, and I think we can all be thankful for that. This is a part of their Worlds of DC universe. You know, the DC comics have a multiverse. The CW TV shows have this multiverse. It's DCEU adjacent. It is, but it isn't. It's in a separate universe. Don't expect to see too many crossovers, too many ties to the other movies, because there will be none. The only ties we will see to the greater DC universe will be the ones to Bruce Wayne and his family. We will see Thomas Wayne in this movie. We are supposed to get a young Bruce Wayne. I believe this is who he's making smile in this picture right here. We won't see Bruce putting on the suit or anything like that. I don't even know if we will be seeing his parents get murdered in Crime Alley. First of all, what a terrible name for an alley. Why would you, if you knew it was called Crime Alley, why would you walk down there? It's just kind of dumb, guys. I mean, I don't think Zorro's that good. So I don't believe we'll be seeing any kind of proto Batman in this besides a young Bruce Wayne. All right, now that we got that out of the way, let's jump into this teaser. I really like the griminess of this trailer. Definitely get grimy Gotham, which was made popular to the casual audience from the Nolan movies. I definitely got that kind of vibe. Martin Scorsese is producing this movie. Todd Phillips is the director. He directed the Hangover trilogy. He also directed War Dogs, which I particularly didn't like, but that was more for story issues, not the way it was shot or anything like that. The reaction from the greater Twitterverse definitely seems pretty positive. From everyone I've talked to, they've all been pleasantly surprised by this Joker movie, and people who weren't keen on getting like this Joker solo movie in the first place. I definitely think this was a good idea. I like Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker more because that guy seems crazy in real life. So I thought he was a perfect pick. Maybe he's not. Maybe he was just, going into character acting when he said that he was going to quit acting and become a rapper just to make that fake documentary thing. It was crazy. Either way, he's a little unhinged, but most celebrities are. I think he was a great pick for the Joker. Definitely someone who's been sought after to show up in comic book movies. He was approached by Marvel to be Doctor Strange, around the time they were looking for a Doctor Strange, but he seemed not so keen on it because of the multiple picture commitment. So this one he can do a one-off. I think that if this movie is successful, we might be seeing him pop up against maybe Matt Reeves's The Batman at some point. This is definitely an if. It could just be a good one and done movie, and I really wouldn't have a problem with that because I know there's going to be casual fans. Not that there's anything wrong with being a casual fan, but there's going to be people who are like, well, why isn't he in the Batman movie? He was so good, blah, blah, blah. Or people on the other end of that spectrum being like, why is he in this? I thought you said this was the other universe, blah, blah, blah. Nerd bomb. I really like how they play on this poor versus the rich aspect of the movie. That would definitely make sense why he wouldn't like the Waynes and maybe the crime increases. I think that's a great way to tell this story. I really did like this whole Joker arc that we're getting in this small teaser. The people behind the production of this movie have said they are inspired by the Killing Joke story arc, which is considered to be one of the best Joker stories in comics. Anybody can be turned into the Joker. Everybody is one bad day away from being the Joker. The Joker isn't crazy, he's just ahead of the curve. This trailer definitely plays up the fact that this man, Arthur Fleck, after a couple of bad days, turns into the clown prince of crime. I'm gonna leave it in there. I'm not doing it again. So I've been thinking about well-crafted villains for a while now. I'm in that mood because we're coming off Avengers Infinity War. We're going into Avengers Endgame. I know this has nothing to do with it, but just hear me out. I know there's stop comparing Marvel to DC. I'm one of those people. Don't compare them. But I just want to talk about how you make a great villain. In my opinion, Thanos is a pretty perfect villain. First time we see Thanos, he gets the upper hand on the Hulk, someone who we know never really loses a fight. He kills Loki, chokes him out, destroys half of the remaining Asgardians, and leaves. So right there, we hate him off the bat, Yeah, he seems badass and he can fight, and he's like this religious warrior now that he has collected 2 Infinity Stones. But we don't like you now. You're hurting the people that we do like. And not to mention, he kills Heimdall as well. As the movie goes on, we find out through flashbacks and his conversations with Gamora the reasons why he's doing these things. So you hated him, and now you kind of understand the reason he's doing these things. And then it wasn't until he gets the Soul Stone and after the snap, when he talks to Gamora, is when he really gains sympathy. Making a good villain, I think, has to go through those three things. You have to hate him, then you understand why he's doing the things, and then you gain sympathy for him. So you realize that he's the hero of his own story. It is important to understand and have sympathy for this villain, which make you more emotionally invested. It's not just a mustache twirly villain like, yeah, I'm gonna take over the world. You won't catch me this time. Those campy villains are great, you know, in their own way, but a serious villain in a serious movie, you want to be able to understand why he's doing the things he's doing, or she. You know, getting back to the Joker teaser, I think this will be the reverse. I think we'll have sympathy for him, you know, his relationship with his mother and the way that he's failing as a stand-up comedian, the way he's failing, you know, just not being able to put food on the table, to provide for him and his family. Right, to gain sympathy, people are going to just be shitty to him because Gotham seems like a shitty place. And then we're going to want him to fight back. And he's going to fight back, and obviously he's going to take it too far. So we're going to go from sympathy, we care for you, to understand why he's beating up these guys that are picking on him, to taking down the rich because maybe they have something to do with it. They're the reason why there's so much crime here in Gotham, the reason why he can't pay rent, you know, because maybe there's some slumlord that has a lot that's not giving anybody a break. Here we go throughout the movie. Now we understand why he's doing the things, but then he starts to tip over that understanding, that sympathy, you know, that foundation that we already have for him, and he goes into hatred. He does something despicable that we shouldn't be rooting for. That's something I hope that they handle with care. You don't want to make the Joker an anti-hero. You don't. That's not who he is. He's a villain. All out villain he will turn. I don't know why I said that in Yoda terms. I really love how this is shot. Definitely seems like something that we haven't seen before, or at least not in a comic book movie. Anybody else who's ever picked up a comic book know how diverse they can be. It's not just like beat 'em up, explosions, bomb, action movie, defeating the mustache twirly villain. They can also be smaller stories. They can be a heist movie like an Ant-Man. They can be a comedy. They can be a space adventure, you know, a sci-fi saga, or they could be a horror movie, or they could be a tragedy, or they could be, you know, they could be anything, in any movie genre. I'm really wanting to see this kind of crime drama, horror, you know, thriller of a movie featuring the Joker. Seeing this trailer definitely gives me hope. I was still pretty hyped about this movie. Not like super hyped, like it was maybe my top 10, not necessarily my top 5 of this year. We do have a lot of great movies coming out this year, but I'm definitely looking forward to this. I'm pretty intrigued, and I think that most people are as well. So those are my thoughts. I think the teaser looked great. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Leave a like down below if you feel like I deserve it. Subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you guys think about this kind of setup. I think I feel a little better just talking to you guys while I'm sitting down. I feel a little more relaxed. Maybe I'll stand up for like some new stuff, but for trailer breakdowns, trailer thoughts, trailer talks, I would definitely like to sit down and just kind of talk to you guys. Thank you guys so much. Follow us on Twitter at New World Nerds. Thank you guys so much for watching to the end of the video. Keep an eye out there, true believers.